All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. CaptainShack here. Welcome back to X3 Albion Prelude. I'm a rebel pilot sitting in my cockpit right now aboard a space station, a military space station. We just got orders from Rebel High Command and Argon High Command. They're working together against the Imperial and Terran threats. We've got orders to go spy on John Furco. I forgot the whole name of the company, but a company that's been possibly getting into some dealings with the Terrans and the Imperials. We're not sure what's up. They've supplied us with a new ship. Now, if I go to R, I can actually see this new ship. It's an advanced discoverer. I kind of want to sell it. I kind of want to like see if I can sell it and buy an A-wing. But what we're gonna do first is we'll do the mission as ordered. Yeah, we'll do the mission as ordered. We're gonna get out of our X-wing. We'll jump into, if I click this and I go to advanced, I can go to change ship. We'll pop into this Argon. This is a scout vehicle. It's a super fast interceptor, weak shields, weak armaments, but like I said, she's really quick. This is why I wish it was an A-wing. All right, does kind of have like an A-wing's cockpit, doesn't it? Especially the look of like the bubble cockpit. Maybe it is. Maybe he set this up so it gives you an A-wing and this is the cockpit he's using. Let's go ahead and launch. You know what, while we're here, we're inside a military space station, right? This is a military outpost. If I go to trade, let's see what they've got for trade. So up here is all the Marines that I can hire. Now, Marines are used to board enemy ships, basically. Now, there's a bunch of scripts and mods out there that allow you to use Marines, I think, to do repairs, kind of like mechanics. I don't have any of those installed, though. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up a couple advanced satellites. So there's two types of satellites in the game. There are navigation relay satellites and there are advanced satellites. Now, as I understand it, they both do the same thing. There's a difference in price. The advanced satellites are a bit more expensive, but 13,000 credits isn't that much. And the advanced satellite lets you see a lot more. And you'll see what I mean when I buy one of these. So we're gonna go ahead and buy one. The interceptor ships have crap for cargo space, so I can only hold one. We're gonna buy a bunch of these for our X-wing once we get back into it. But let's go ahead and undock. Let's get on to this spying mission. Let's take a look at what we're in. Oh yeah. Oop, give it a little gas. This is a tiny little Argon discoverer. Yeah, she can't take much of a hit, but watch how fast she is. We'll just give it all the gas. 275, and she's probably not even fully upgraded. Not bad. You can see the speed at the bottom there as I change it. When we get into first person view, you can actually see me adjusting the throttle. Now our mission is to take this scout ship and let's see, missions, show briefing. I'm using the keyboard to do all this. A John Furco eavesdrop. John Furco technology is somehow finding its way into the hands of, their technology is somehow finding its way into the Terrans' hands. A contact within the headquarters suggests that an important meeting is soon to take place in Albion between John Furco representatives and unknown parties. We're heading over to Albion. Now, where the hell is Albion? We don't actually know. We've never been there before. So, but before we do that, before we run off and do that mission, let me get my mouse to turn on. I want to deploy that satellite that I just bought, because I want to be able to see, even when I'm not in this sector, I want to see what's going on here, because this is, well, it's a very important sector for us. This is where basically all the military units are. This is where our shipyard is. I want to be able to see what the prices are in this system, so I need a link here. So what I'm doing is I'm going to fly somewhere into the center of the map, probably near the shipyard itself. Which, our TIE Interceptor's just arriving. Remember we captured him in the last episode? So he's just arriving, slow as all get out. He's gonna come in and we're gonna sell him to get some credits. Very cool. I know a lot of you were like, Shaq, you should have joined the Empire. I love the Rebellion though. Can't help myself. I'm loyal to the Rebellion. All right, so if I go into my inventory, hitting F to go into the freight bay, we have an advanced satellite there. I can go ahead and eject this.
Advanced satellite.
And let me just bring the throttle back. And we can take a look at this advanced satellite that I just dropped in. It actually has a model. There she is. That's cool. And if I open up the map, huge sensor range. I could basically see the entire sector just about. Maybe. There might be a couple more stations, actually, on, like, the edge of the sensor range, because you do see a couple of asteroids out there. If I open up the mouse here, yeah, you can see, like, right on the edge of the sensor range.
Argon equipment
we do see all of the jump gates, correct? Yeah, north gate. Oh, maybe not. I don't see a south gate, and I think that's what we're supposed to fly through. All right, let's take control. No, we're going through the north gate. So this may be a dead-end system. There may not be any other gates, which makes it easy to defend. We're gonna go ahead and head out, though, and finish the mission. So we're gonna wanna set up those satellites to see what's going on in multiple sectors. Every sector that I wanna operate in, and hell, probably even more, just so we can see what's going on. Now, we can only see a handful of systems on here because we haven't done a lot of exploring. It's something that I wanna do in my X-Wing. And I believe we can, let me turn on SATA. I believe we can set up some explorers to do it automatically as our fleet grows. But right now, we'll be all right. We'll be all right in our little Argon interceptor that I wish was an A-Wing. I think that's my first bit of feedback I'm gonna give is like, if you can, swap out all the reward and the storyline mission ships with some of the modded ones. I don't know if you can because it depends on how it's scripted into the game, but I would much rather be given like, you know, an A-Wing, and then if they give us, say, a larger ship like an IB-7 later on, or I don't know what they give you later on in the story. I'd like to have like a blockade runner or a hammerhead, you know, something from the Star Warsy vibe. It's just really freaking cool. Do you like the cockpits? In X3 Albion Prelude, in vanilla, there are no cockpits. This was all added by mods, by the modder. How cool is that? This game has such a great modding community to it. All right, let's kick on the engines. We're gonna head out. I don't know how many jumps we've got to take. Running through the east gate again. All right, we've kind of explored this. I could stop by the military outpost that's dead ahead of us and pick up some more advanced satellites, but I really don't. I don't want to do that. I can only pick up one at a time. It'd take forever to deploy all those. I'd rather do it in our X-Wing. Now, there are things worth exploring. So one of the things that I like about X3 is that there's a reason to explore. There's a few things that you can find. One thing that you can find is abandoned ships. Now, the normal game has like shipwrecks that are floating off in sometimes asteroid belts and just in random places. And I've also installed a mod called the Abandoned Ship Spawner, which I think it randomizes wrecks and it adds new ones. And I'm hoping the new ones that it adds comes from the pool of modded ships as well. So, you know, out there in the universe, there could be, you know, an old, I don't know, maybe an old like Venator or some old Clone Wars ships floating around. I think that would be really cool. If the mod author hasn't thought about adding that in for people to explore and find, he really should. Like, just a little bit. I feel like Clone Wars, like the wars that happened in the past are there's wrecks out there from those. I think that would be really neat. Give some people things to find. Now, there are stuff in this game for us to find. Like I said, I've got the Abandoned Ship Spawner. The links to the other scripts I'm using are in the description below. Let's go ahead and hit this gate. I'm gonna come like off center that case something else comes through the gate, we don't run into it. What else have I installed? I want to test a bunch of scripts. I've got Detector installed to help us find some of those wrecks. It adds like a pinging sound, like we've got a sensor running. It makes it a little bit more interesting when you're finding stuff. Though we do not have, I don't believe.
Not working.
Yeah, we don't have.
Not working.
It says working, but I don't think we've got a detector installed on this. We don't. The only subsystems we got installed are our weapons for impulse ray emitters. We've got 1 megajoule shield. That is the lowest shield you can get. We got a triplex scanner. That's the one nice thing about this ship on here, and then a time accelerator, of course. The triplex scanner is why we have such a huge sensor array area. You notice when I fly my X-Wing, it's super tiny. We need to get a triplex scanner on that. If she could mount it. I'm not sure if an X-Wing can mount a triplex scanner. There's a couple of other sensors that you can install that aren't as good as the triplex, but it's probably the X-Wing's gonna be limited. I mean, really, the only ship, in my opinion, as fighter class that should get the triplex, the big one, would be the Long Probe Y-Wing, because that's a scout. You know, that's a scout vessel. That's a long-range scanning fighter, but that's me. Passing by all the Argon traders. About to hit the gate. Gonna spy on some John Furco fools. I wonder how the cargo space of an A-Wing is. I wonder if it's better than the Argon's interceptor. I bet it is. Just a little bit. Maybe not, though. A-Wings are pretty sleek. Just trying to think of other interceptors that they might have in this. The Jedi Starfighter would be a neat one. We just watched episode 2 last night. Me and Tabby. We're getting ready for Star Wars Celebration, so we're watching through all the movies. Where are we at? Let's see what we got on sensors. I'm picking up any enemies on sensors. Start pulling away from the gate. We're gonna hit the east gate. We're in the Wastelands. The original name for this sector was the Light of Hope until the Xenon attacked many years ago. It was clear that the sector patrols wouldn't hold out against further attacks, so the colony was prepared for evacuation. Using small transport ships backed up from the Argon military was sent. 4 Titan-class destroyers and 2 Colossus carriers complete with fighter wings. They were to escort the transport ships out of the system, but before they could get out of the gate, Xenon ships jumped in and overwhelmed the fleet. All civilian ships escaped alongside a lone destroyer, the Challenger. 3 years later, a joint Argon-Boron force took back Light of Hope, and it was renamed the Wasteland, reflecting the carnage and the debris that the forces found. And I bet, if we look around the Wasteland, we will find the wreckage of that battle if we scan this sector. Not picking up anything. Yeah, we got a Imperial biotransporter out there. Really?
ATF biotransporter.
Yep. Oh, look at that. Imperial shuttlecraft. It's one of the gunships. She got any turrets on board? Looks like she's got forward-firing cannons. I bet she's got a rear turret. Maybe not. Maybe not. We can check. We check the info. Let's see. What do you have? 0 weapon bays. Really? Numbered bays 8, not 0. What's wrong with me? It looks like 4 fronts, though. I don't see anything about rear weapons. We're not going to engage that, though. We don't have the firepower. What we're using right now... Actually, I don't know. I don't know the weapons in this now. It's all different because it's part of the mod. We're using impulse ray emitters. Okay, so he's changed the sound and the color of that they fire. The impulse ray emitters, they're really fast-firing weapons. They're great for intercepting, well, interceptors and other small fighters. Interceptors will normally run them because they don't pull a lot of energy. If you look on the bottom left there, you can see as I pull the trigger, it burns energy, but not very fast for having 4 of these. And the reactor on board, you know, this tiny little interceptor isn't that great. So it can't recharge it very fast.
Gate, midnight
But if you're gonna use them, you'd use them for like missile defense. If you're having them on like a transport, you'd put a turret on the back of it and you'd call it you'd have it set up to fire at only missiles or maybe incoming small fighters. But you're not gonna be taking out X-Wings with these things. Or TIE interceptors. Maybe TIE fighters. I am curious if TIE fighters get shields in this. Because so far all we've engaged is TIE interceptors. I bet they do, but I'm betting it's like 1 megajoule, just like this thing has. Just absolute crap. But if all is right in the world, they should be really cheap for an Imperial player to buy in mass, you know? Lots of cheap, easy to mass produce TIE fighters for their Star Destroyers and their Gazanti cruisers. And I believe they've got the Arquintons in this too.
Entering system.
Should be a neat gunship.
Midnight Star.
Midnight Star. Check our sensors. So this is a much bigger system. So it's not that my sensors are like weaker in some sectors. It's that the sector is just more spread out. Looks like we're going through the east gate. We've never been through here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set course a little bit this direction. That way we can kind of scan over here. We can get more on our radar. The reason I like to scan as much of a sector as possible is that the more stations that I have revealed, everything that you reveal and everything that you scan goes into an encyclopedia. So if, say, I'm looking for, what do we have in this sector? What does a drone factory build? I assume just combat drones? Fighter drones. So say I'm looking for fighter drones. Because I've gone through this sector and I've scanned these systems and now they're gonna be on my sector map, I'll be able to check the encyclopedia and say, okay, where can I buy fighter drones from? And because I've been through here, it'll come up in my encyclopedia. Your encyclopedia, by the way, if you hit escape and you go up to the top, you can go into what is it, advanced under your personal section, because the sections you've got of your personal, navigation, current ship. The next one underneath that will be target, and the one under that I think will be space station. Let's not fly through the military outpost. This is a new model that he's added to the game, by the way. Very Star Warsy. I love it. I think the station looks great. Well done, sir. Anyways, what we were talking about. So the encyclopedia. I'm gonna show you guys how to get to it. So let me pop back up there using my joystick. Let's go under advanced and then encyclopedia. And this thing is such a useful tool. If you're looking for a certain type of laser, or you want to know about a certain type of weapon, if you've discovered it, if you've seen it in the universe, it'll come up under here. So it's kind of like your Pokedex. You always want to like fill it out. R2 series astromech droids. There is a script for the mod that just came out that updates the X-Wing script, being able to close and open your S-foils. Not in my X-Wing, so I can't really show you. Where it'll also allow R2 astromech droids to be implanted into Y-Wings. It's the update for the other script. It also allows the S-foils to work on the new blue X-Wings that he's added in, because somebody requested them. So, pretty cool. Wow. Seda, a little too fast. Use that rudder control, get lined up. I need to update that. I still haven't done it. Now I'm hoping they pay us for this. Or that we get something cool out of this. To be honest, have never finished the Albion Prelude stories. I always jump in and play it as a sandbox. I avoid all of the storylines. I've never gotten a player HQ, which is one of the rewards for one of the other stories. And there's like, I don't know, there's like 7 plots in this or something. Maybe even be more than that. And there's an Imperial story. There's the Argon side that you can play as. Ooh. Oh, hello. Let me lock you and find out what you are.
John Furco, military.
John Furco has its own, what is that? MC90? MC80, I mean? You can see the docking bays on the port side. We're gonna take a pass by it. We're gonna do a nice little flight past it. Slow it down a bit. You guys, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the engines on this Argon ship are really whiny. There's the docking bays. She's a beast. How big she is. Looks like the texture could use a little bit of work. Definitely. A lot of stuff in here is placeholder, and he's been going back and redoing it as he has time. So you'll notice that like some of your ships will get nicer and nicer. I like the interiors of those though, but yeah, this needs a bit more work. Looks good though. I'm really happy to see these big, because those are hard to model. Maybe it's just the lighting. You can see those big ass engines on the back of it. Freaking cool. All right, let's kick on the engines full blast. We are in the John Furco station, right? John Furco headquarters. All right, we're passing by that. What? What do you
Designed
sell?
by its own team of skilled draftsmen, John Furco's Space Dynamics division built this imposing structure to fulfill a number of aims. Its space structures are not only designed, but tested here as well. Corporate management has also relocated here from its former planetary headquarters.
Interesting. And they sell some interesting technology. You can pick up transporter devices here, good for moving cargo around, transferring ships about. You can pick up a mineral scanner if you want to do some mining and scanning asteroids in a system to see like how good those asteroids are, especially if you want to put a mine down on one of those asteroids. You don't want to just blow it up and mine it. Commodity logistics, bioscanners, if you want to like see what's on other people's ships. The trade extension would be nice. Notice how under credits, I can't see any of the prices. That's because this ship doesn't have a trade extension computer in it. And what that does is it allows you to access the markets. So as long as you have an active sensor link with the space station, say an advanced satellite, and you have the trade extension software installed on your ship, you'll be able to actually see prices, which is something that I keep in all the ships that I fly. This, of course, is just a temporary arrangement. I'm not gonna be flying an Argon ship. If anything, it's gonna be, I really want a Hammerhead. I'm so excited to get a Hammerhead. Let's kick on the engines. I just think they're the coolest thing. And you know, they're the reworked ones because they're based on the ancient design from the old Republic. They're kind of inspired by that design, but they're from Rebels proper. And now Rogue One, but originally Rebels. They had them in season 2 with
Sergeant,
Leia.
we have received word that the meeting is already underway. You must find the John Furco command ship somewhere in your sector. We have engaged listening protocols on your ship's computer, so you can intercept their ship-to-ship communications. Again, do not get drawn into any conflict. At the first sign of trouble, disengage and return to base. We will be monitoring communications remotely. Derek, out.
You know, this is a vanilla ship, and look how shiny it is. That's just weird looking. All right, that's how fast we're really going. It's hard to get an idea of how quick you're going until you see it like from a standstill. We're flying. All right, so we gotta spy on these guys. Now, what are we actually looking for? What is the guy's name? Eavesdrop. Show briefing. Okay, on John Furco meeting. We've got the triplex scanner already. We don't have to obtain that. John Furco technology is somehow finding its way into the hands of the Terrans. Contact their headquarters. A contact on the headquarters suggests that an important meeting is soon to take place by an unknown party. Okay, well, we gotta find that unknown party then. I don't see any John Furco ships on like straight up sensors. Could be anywhere. Let's head toward the gate. Normally, most of the action happens near a gate, because all the ships are flying to and from them. Yeah, let's make sure we got full speed. Keep my throttle all the way on. We'll turn on our time acceleration. Maybe we'll pick something up on sensors once we get close enough.
Paradid? What are
Whoa.
they doing here? We're going to radio silence. Try to get as much information as possible, but don't get too close.
It looks like they're having issues showing, or maybe it's because of our distance? I don't know. We don't see our commander talking to us. All right, try not to get too close.
John Furco, command ship.
This is a John Furco ship. She's doing 62 meters a second. It looks like she's coming about. Let's just keep an eye on her. Don't tell me we're following that thing. It's not exactly incredibly fast. What's it? Oh yeah, it's meeting with a Paranid ship underneath it.
Paranid representative Deimos.
Interesting. I always thought their ships looked really cool. They've got like mouths on the front. Also very shiny. So they're meeting with the Paranid. What's my actual objective? Do you want me to get closer? Approach the John Furco command ship. All right, let's get closer. Kick on our engines. Not too close.
John Furco, command ship.
Fly casual. Hold at 8
Up
kilometers.
ahead, we have the highway construction area. It takes us several weeks to build and configure each gate, but we have several production lines and are investing in more avenues of research to speed up the process.
Are there any working prototypes of these devices for you to demonstrate?
Back away. We're too close. We're too close. Any working prototypes of these devices? We're gonna just casually fly away.
No, our first tests were scheduled for 2 weeks' time, but the escalation of the war has forced us to rethink our timetable.
Stand by.
Now I'm too close. Okay, I'm not close enough.
You bring us here with false promises and nothing to show but a dead husk of metal. We anticipated this deceitful possibility, and I have the authority to sever negotiations with your lower life company. What do you offer us to prevent this?
I'm gonna keep my distance. While
We
I listen
also
in.
anticipated this outcome, so I have authority to provide you with all of our highway research and 3 prototype highway gates. I'm sure your scientists will be able to verify our findings. These highways will be powerful tools, opening up entire solar systems in a way we had never before dreamed possible. As with all powerful technologies, though, it can be abused. We trust that you will use it wisely.
This offer would be acceptable to us. I am accustomed to Argon being short-sighted and unworthy of our attention. It is agreeable to see some Argon attempting to emulate Paranid levels of foresighted
Too
preparation.
close.
It pleases me to hear that. Unfortunately, we must pause proceedings. We have detected a suspicious ship nearby. It could be attempting to listen in on our conversation.
Oh. That's not me.
That ship reeks of Argon's Secret Service. It appears that your security leaves much to be desired. Let us hope that your designers are of a better caliber.
Alright, dock the military outpost in Sector M148. We're out of here. So, oh, interesting. This is building up. So, where the time frame works on this, with the storyline, this is before X Rebirth came out, which was the sequel, the pseudo-sequel to this, and it wasn't very well received, but this was building up to the release of that game. In that game, there are highway gates that you use to get around. The gate network that we are using now, I guess, collapses or something. I don't really know what the story is there. I don't remember, but I do know that they had these gates, and it was an interesting way of flying around the universe. The problem people had with the game was it really took away all of the open universe, like, interesting aspects of X, right? It didn't feel like this open grand sandbox anymore. It felt very much smaller, and it was. It was more detailed. The space stations, you could like actually get out of your ship and walk around inside them. They also didn't use that for anything really all that interesting. You could only fly one ship too, which was absolute blasphemy in a freaking X game. So took away all the sandbox elements. They're trying to add them back in later patches. I hear it's a lot better now than it was on release, but it was really disappointing, X Rebirth. But anyways, that's the story I think they're hinting at, is these gates that eventually become X Rebirth. Now the good news is, I know a lot of people are angry about X Rebirth and they're really disappointed in that. X Rebirth is getting a VR release. That's okay, cool. I'll probably check that out when it comes out because I do have a Vive. And I hear they've done a lot of work to make it a lot better. But what is really cool is X4, this is X3AP, X4, the actual sequel to this, is being developed. They've already announced it. And since they've experimented with X Rebirth, it's about time we got a proper sequel to this. I'm really excited. The guy who made this Star Wars mod that we're playing has already said, hopefully he wants to port everything over to that and take advantage of a newer engine with all the bells and whistles, because this is actually a really old game. Fantastic game, but really old. Let's kick on those engines. So we've spied on them. We're gonna autopilot this pretty quickly. You know what? Just in case we have like something dumb happen, let's get a save. And by dumb, I mean, I don't know, a Mon Cal ship comes through a gate and I get run over. The bounce script should protect us from that. Whoa! So that ship to our left, right off our port side, that big ship is a Teladi transport ship. Now these ships, this class of ship, is capable of actually moving space stations. Let me get a lock. I'll introduce you guys to Teladi.
Supply Albatross.
That's an Albatross. It's a monster. It's so big. I love the Teladi ships. They look like, mostly scaffolding, right? They're kind of the Minotaur from Eve of this universe when it comes to their design. They're all about making that profit. And if I calm them real quick.
You are talking to the automated
let's talk to their captain.
System. Make your request. This is the captain
of
the Teladi Company's space fleet.
I can't show you them for some reason. It's turned the top right screen black. That's not good. That's a little weird. But they're like these almost snake-like people, lizard people that all about making that money. Their actual leader is like CEO is what they call him, CEO.
Midnight Star.
He's almost a religious figure. It's pretty neat. All right, let's jump.
Argon passenger shuttle.
Turn on our SATA. Oh, what is that? That's a transport ship. Oh, I love this mod because there's so much new stuff in it. So that's probably an energy transporter or something. Very cool looking. Definitely from the mod. All right, sorry, getting distracted by all the things. Let's kick on the engines. There's another one passing off our starboard side. What are you? I just want to see all the ships.
Teladi freight transporter.
Oh, okay. Normal Teladi ship. One of their small, like, fighters. The Teladi seem to have a lot of cargo space. Even in their combat vessels, they get more cargo space. So, whoa, what are you? Is that? Lock onto that.
Paranid.
Is that the party
food
bus?
transporter.
No, it's not. Damn. I thought it was what is it called? The ship from Star Wars Galaxies, Lando Calrissian's ship. It's not really from Star Wars Galaxies, but they used it. We used to call it the party bus because they have these giant windows. And so you just get all your friends on there. It wasn't a combat ship. You couldn't put any weapons on it. It was just you get on there and you have like a big get together with these gigantic windows. Be able to look out at the stars. Now let's hit the jump gate. Get me back in my X-Wing. Sell that TIE fighter. Probably sell this ship and see if we could buy like a proper interceptor. Or maybe, I probably can't afford it, but a fully outfitted X-Wing as a co-pilot, as a wingman would be really cool. Have a little bit of backup. I'm a little torn. I don't know what I want to do. That's the thing in X. You don't know what you want to do, and you can sit there and rack your brains. Like, do I want to get a wingman to help me out? Do I want to save up for maybe a TM, a military transport, to be able to put my fighters on board and have like my own little fighter wing all docked up in a transport ship? Do I want to buy a mining vessel and send them out mining, or get a trader going? We're gonna buzz this transport for fun, because we can. That's an Argon transport. Hello. So many cool ships in this. Do I want to get a YT? There's a bunch of different versions of YTs. YTs are the Corellian ships. So 1300 will be Millennium Falcon. The 2400 is Dash Rendar's ship. The Outrider. You know, and they made tons of these, so it's not like it's wrong in the lore to see these out and about. These were the mass-produced light freighters. I don't know. I kind of want a YT because they could have the turrets. Depending on which one you get, they could have top and bottom turrets. We could do a little trading that way. We could upgrade it. I don't know. Maybe even use it for some light combat. I'm kind of loving the idea of having a rogue, like Rogue One fighter squadron. One more, I think one more jump and we're through. This was other than the little story bit, this was a really boring mission. That music. So if you're wondering what those light bulbs are that you see on some of these, like this military space station, those are missions, and there's different types of missions. Let me turn on my mouse here and click them.
Argon trading station.
That's a trading station. If I hit the comms,
You are talking to the
one of the people on board the
interaction
station has a
system.
mission. We can
Make
look at
your
that mission. What do you got for us?
Pilot,
What job you got for me?
work for you. If you
I've worked for you if you're capable. What do you need doing?
a job you wish to take,
Covert operation. I've been working undercover for the Paranid authorities for 3 years now. I've almost cracked a dangerous smuggling ring, but I need someone to follow Seo Ticket back to his base of operations and relay me the information. Get paid 50,000 credits. I only got about an hour to do it. So you get these kind of cool missions. The symbol that you see, be it a light bulb or maybe a red targeting indicator. Speaking of which, that one right there on my port side, I'll look right at it. That's a combat mission that I could take and do missions. They'll probably have like pirates come and attack the star base, or just attack the system, or maybe it'll have like a patrol for me. We're not gonna do that right now because we're not in a proper dogfighting vessel. I don't want to be in a shitty little interceptor. Be like a lone TIE fighter getting into a fight. I'm not having it. Hit the edge of the gate for safety's sake. I could. He's added in the Talati classics, and I'm like, do I want to get a couple of, like, what big ship do I want to try to like get myself into? Do I want to get into something like an Acclimator or a Venator? He's got some interesting stuff. Off our port side right now, giving you the universe tour, is turn my camera. That is a military like turret. It's just like a military outpost. It's not a base. I don't think you can dock at them, but they're really well armed. They've got turrets all over them. Now in the vanilla game you can't buy those, but I wonder if he's added something similar that you can buy in this. That'd be cool. Or maybe some Golan platforms. I would love to see those purchasable by for players in this mod. So if you want to claim a sector as your own, maybe drop one of those at the gate to help defend it, along with the fleet. That would be neat. I don't know. About to hit the gate. Another mod that I'm looking at, it's not really a mod, it's a big script called Codea. C-O-D-E-A. And it's like a carrier script. It allows you to command a fleet a lot easier. I've never messed with it, but I've heard amazing things about it, where you can like set up a carrier. This is when you get really like big, right? You've got your own faction, you're fighting the war. You can have like a carrier that's got its own recon squadron and bomber squadron and fighter squadron. It knows how to refuel itself. It knows how to refuel its fleet, reload its missiles, and the missiles of the ships inside it. Like, it can do all that micromanaging for you. And that sounds amazing. Because it's, like, having to reload every one of your fighters' mosquito missiles. Mosquito missiles are used for anti-missile defense.
System, Argon Sector M148.
There's our military base. That's where we're docking. It's where our X-Wing is, so we'll go ahead and lock onto it.
Military outpost.
Let's get docked up. Let's get me out of this thing. Whoop. Bit of a freeze up there. Sometimes you get that when a large ship jumps into a sector, because it's loading the model basically.
You are talking to
requesting
the
permission to
positive.
land.
Please dock
There it
as
is.
soon as you get green position lights.
Here's our position lights. Could autopilot this, but it's a little faster if I just do it myself. Though you can see though while the autopilot runs, so come on. Upward thrusters. Anytime you want to like react to this, that would be great. Man, I thought the X-Wings maneuvering thrusters were slow. A little down, a little up. Alright, slow it down. Slow it way down. The throttle is super touchy on this interceptor. Right about there. Alright, bring it in. There we go. Oop. Oh, look at X-Wing! Totally just docked next to me. That's cool. That's cool.
Successfully docked.
All right, we are
On behalf of our
back.
President and Senator, the Argon Federation is honored to welcome you aboard.
Connection to...
Sergeant, while that meeting didn't involve the Terrans, it did answer a few questions about their recent activities. While I'm sure eyebrows will be raised about the Paranet being involved, we still have no proof that John Furco are directly trading technology with the Terrans. We will continue to contact them through official channels for clarification on where they stand. You did well today. Feel free to go about your business. We will contact you again when we have another task for you. If you want to take some R&R away from the front, I hear some of the other pilots have been trying to play the stock market. If you play it right, it's easy money without needing a fleet of freighters. If you get it wrong, well, you can always eat in the mess, and the cost will be deducted from your next paycheck.
You're telling me I don't even get 3 hots at a cot? I gotta pay for my own meals? Anyways, he's not joking. There is a stock market that you can go play, and it is fairly easy money if you give it enough time. It's just one of those options, one of those things you can do. I'm not gonna do it though. What we are gonna do is we're gonna jump over to our property, hit R, and we're gonna jump back into my X-Wing because this just feels wrong. I don't like it. I don't like being in this. So let's go ahead and go to advanced. It is docked on the same space station as us, so we can change ship. What? Okay, I guess they moved my X-Wing to one of the outer docking rings instead of inside. Huh, interesting. So we've got our ship. What do we want to do? I guess we need to sell our stuff. Let's go ahead. Let's undock. There we go. Let's undock. We're back in our X-Wing. I'm not sure why it's not showing their faces when they talk. I'm gonna look into that after this is over, but back at our X-Wing with our S-foils closed. Let's dock up at the local shipyard. Stations. Actually, let's just use our sensors. Argon Federal Shipyard, and we are gonna auto-dock this time. I wanna look through some of the ships that the Argon sell at this shipyard. There's lots of shipyards, there's lots of factions, and he has put the ships, the Star Wars ships in this universe out. Good, don't get so close to that asteroid. All over the universe. So there's another thing worth exploring. We should have picked up some satellites while we were in that military base. I totally forgot about it, because I want to do some exploring. See what I'm talking about with the auto dock? Like, where are we going right now? What are we doing? Autopilot. All right, just stop. Just, I don't know, I've never seen it do that. I've seen it be pretty bad, never seen it do that. That's the equipment dock. We can do some upgrades there. Probably not a bad idea to park there, but first, there's the shipyard.
Argonne shipyard.
These shipyards can dock capital ships. That's why they're these real long structures. Let's go ahead and do the comms. Request permission to land.
You cannot undergo docking procedure at the moment.
What? Why the hell not? Are you full up? They might be full up.
Negative. You cannot undergo docking procedure at the moment.
Sergeant, please return to Sector M148. There have been developments with Gianfranco.
Oh, he's got intel for us already. No, I want to dock, damn it.
Talking negative.
You know what? He's full, right? I'm assuming that the space station docking ports are full. We're gonna go ahead and all stop. But I know one of the ships is taking up one of those slots. It's one of my TIE fighters. So the only TIE fighter. Let's go ahead and grab that. We'll go to trade. Doesn't have a trade system extension. Shit. I need to sell you. Why can't I dock?
You are talk negative. You cannot.
Get the hell out of the way. That's why it was just circling. I was in like a holding pattern. I've never seen them full before. Let's take a pass at their docking ring. Let's see if they're actually full. I only see one ship at this docking ring. Unless they're really small. Oh, they're really small. Don't undock. They drop down when they undock, so you don't want to be underneath. You bastards! Piss off. Oh, there's my TIE. You can see the TIE interceptor directly ahead. Yeah, they're all full. Finish your business. And move on, so I can dock. You know, here's what we're gonna do. We're all stopped, and we're backing up slowly. Okay, now we're all stopped. Autopilot, or CETA. They're totally just gonna sit there. I wanted to see what they had for sale. I could tell our interceptor to get the hell out of the way. But, damn. They're just gonna sit there like jerks.
We are scanned.
We just got scanned by the cops. Alright, fine. I have to get you out of there. I need to dock.
You want negative.
Not gonna happen. Alright, so, TIE fighter, navigation, I want you to follow me.
Command accepted.
Now you'll undock. All the fighter docks are full, but the capital ship ports are totally open. I can't use them.
You are talking negative. You cannot undergo docking procedure at the moment.
How about now?
Please
there we go. And it happens to be the spot that my TIE interceptor
lights.
came out of, so. That's a first for me. I've never seen them full. I'm not quite sure, like, what are they waiting on? These guys. Well, looks like there's 2 spots open now, so it's a good time for me to give our TIE interceptor a chance to land. So I can sell him. I'll do that right now. TIE interceptor, navigation, dock at my target.
Command accepted.
And the command has been accepted, so he'll dock. Let's bring it in. There we go.
Successfully
I want to see what
On behalf of our president
what
and
the
Senator,
hammerheads
the
go for.
Federation is honored to welcome you aboard.
Connection to local trading
Neutron
network
Star
established.
Bulk Cruiser. These are space. So here's how this works. This is the trade port, the spaceport, and I can buy space stations here, and I can have one of those big, like the Talati transport ship that we saw earlier, the really huge one. We can use that to transport these space stations, unless we own our own large transport, and we can deploy these stations wherever we want. So if we wanna make KX-9, X-wing lasers, we can do that if we buy the forge for it and make it. Large laser cannons, particle accelerator cannons, drone factories, you can buy all this stuff. And different star bases have different things that they can make. So if you've got like a favorite missile that only the Paranid make, you can get a station from the Paranid if they like you enough. The Argonne like me, so I'm allowed to buy all this stuff and deploy it, which is kind of cool. All right, let's see. What do we got? We've got super freighters. We've got bulk freighters. I don't want a bulk freighter. Magnetars. This is a TM, isn't it? Yeah, this is
The
a TM.
Argonne military transport Magnetar was designed.
That's a small carrier. Can hold 4 fighters. Not a modded one, though. We got Y-Wings. The small, medium, large, what this means and why the price is different. So we go from 2.6 to 3.1 million in between these Y-Wings. The large actually comes with better weapons and it already equipped like the best shields. You don't have to go finding them, which is nice. X-Wings. There's a couple different versions of the X-Wing. We got T-Wing haulers. Nothing that I want to buy. So how much was an X-Wing? An X-Wing outfitted X-Wing Vanguards. What's the difference between an X-Wing Vanguard and a normal X-Wing? I must know. X-Wing. You can hear the TIE fighter parked next to me doing that howl. So the normal X-Wing has a top speed of 252 if you upgrade it all the way. Whereas the X-Wing Vanguard has 252. They look identical. I wonder what the difference is. It must be shields. No, they have the exact same price too. Oh, I wonder if this is like the different color. He's got a couple different versions of the X-Wing. Not just color, but like the actual versions, including, I think, the one from the new movie. So, I don't know. The U-Wing. Oh, he's got the U-Wing. Oh, and it's a TP. It's a people transporter. Oh, that's so cool. What is its speed? 175, not terrible. Holds 750 units, not great. I don't know what I would use this for. I kind of want to use it for like a troop transport and try to use it for boarding. You can put Marines on it. A TP means it can transport people, and I think it comes with automatically. I can't see any information. It comes with life support systems already installed, or at least it can install life support, meaning you can put a bunch of Marines on it. That's really cool. That is really cool. The U-Wing is in here. Huh. I know he said he added it, but I haven't seen it yet, other than the one image, and I didn't know who would get it. I guess it makes sense the Argonne get it. All right, we can also buy Lats, which are fairly cheap. It looks like trade ships. They can hold between 3,000 and 4,000 units in XL-sized cargo. That's cool. Let's sell our TIE Interceptor, though. So we're going to get a nice, easy 335,000 credits from this TIE Interceptor. Fantastic.
Sold.
That means that we can buy... Where are the A-Wings? The MC-80s are 120 million. Woo! That's the Independence type. Just the normal one. That's like Home 1. The normal one, 105. Whoosh. So we can't really afford a Y-Wing. We can't afford an X-Wing. 4 million for an X-Wing. Why are B-Wings cheaper than X-Wings? They're considered M3s. M3s are... Oh, crap. What are M3s? M3s are... I'm gonna look up the list real quick. I've got my other PC on right now. M3s, I think those are the Interceptors. M3 ship fighters, strongest weapons, but the lowest speed. So they've got they're the tankiest, but they're the slowest compared to the M4. And the M4s are the mid ground, and then the M5s are the Interceptors. They're really, there they are, A-Wings. Can't afford an A-Wing, 3 million for an A-Wing. Damn. 3 million for an A-Wing. Top speed of almost 400 meters a second. Whoa, that is quick. Almost no cargo space to speak of. And I can look at the information on this. Okay, she can equip 2 instead of the 4 that the X-Wing gets. 2 of the KX-9s and the KX-10s. And the missile list isn't huge. Interesting. I mean, it is what it is. It's an interceptor. What's the shields? That's what I wanted to know. 4 5 megajoule shields. Let's compare that to the X-Wing real quick. The X-Wing can carry 3 25 megajoule shields. So there you go. That's the difference. Whereas the total shield power of an A-Wing equals just 1 of the 3 shields an X-Wing gets. But she's so fast. Good luck hitting the damn thing. Good luck hitting that thing. When you do, it's gonna hurt though. All right, we don't have enough money to do anything just yet. Thank you guys for hanging out with me while I mess around in a menu. I know, it's X3 though. You're gonna spend a lot of time hanging out in menus and doing research and figuring out what you wanna do. What I say we do is we dock up at the space station, we get the next mission in our sweet looking X-Wing, right? I've already figured out the name of my astromech, by the way, B0B1, also known as Bob. So me and Bob here are gonna dock up with the military base. And we get a lot.
Military outpost.
We'll auto dock. Hopefully it does it right this time. And we'll buy some satellites. We'll do a little exploration. And yeah, we'll do a little exploration. We'll do whatever this mission is. I bet it's gonna be go kill stuff. Hopefully. Let's see what they got for us.
Successfully docked.
On behalf of our President and Senator, the Argon Federation is honored to welcome you aboard.
Connection to local trading network established.
Thank you for returning promptly, Sergeant. I believe you've already met Administrator Colburn of John Franco? Yes, it was a brief encounter, but one that almost ruined months of work. Still, I understand why the military wants to keep tabs on us during a war, especially with these accusations. Administrator Colburn was just proposing a very interesting arrangement. Something I think is quite suited to your skill set. We are aware of a possible league within John Franco, and in addition to that, the Terrans are actively attacking our assets. Our focus is still to continue developing the highway technology and building a test bed in Albion. But with these constant attacks and a potential leak, it is becoming quite difficult. John Franco are just as concerned with finding their technology on Terran ships as we are. You will be tasked with aiding John Franco in protecting their ships and continuing the investigation into how the Terrans have gotten access to this research. You will report to Administrator Colburn for assignments, but be aware that you could be pulled back to frontline service at any time. The first job is one you are already familiar with. We are delivering several prototype highway gates to the Paranid. The ship carrying the gates is already en route. Please join the escort group while it travels to the drop-off point. I've arranged for control of a new ship to be transferred to you for this mission. Additional support ships will be standing by if needed. But we don't want to draw attention to the convoy unless necessary. Dismissed.
Ooh, they're gonna give us a new ship for this particular mission. John Franco supply in the inner worlds. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these 10 advanced satellites. I think we're gonna call this one here. First I wanna see, what ship did they just give us? They gave us a Centaur? Really? Oh,
The Centaur was developed by Argon shipwrights in Omicron Lyrae.
Ooh, look at all the laser bays.
It is larger than a freighter or small transporter, but is much smaller than a frigate.
See, they even use the terms freighter, frigate, cruiser, and they don't use them as a indicator. What the hell? All right, she's got tons of weapons. She's got tons of shields. We're talking 200 megajoule shields. Remember, the X-Wing only has 325 megajoule shields. This thing's got 200 megajoule shields. So she's a bit bigger, and she's also packing a ton of laser bays. I guess she'll be a really good escort ship. Now, I'm probably gonna sell it, to be honest. I'm probably gonna sell it and buy a proper ship from the starbase here, one of the Star Wars ships, one of the Rebel ships. Maybe even for this mission, I'm not sure. We'll figure it out in the next episode. But let's go ahead and take a look at that ship real quick, the Centaur. I'll transfer over to it. And, oh, look at that. Proper ship. I'm like, I got a bridge and everything now. Let's go ahead and undock. Undock. Of course, this is a vanilla ship. I wonder what the, oh, it's a vanilla ship, but he's modified it. Oh man, all right, let me downwards thrust. Let's get away from the starbase. He's modified it where the front half is vanilla, right? But look at the back. The back has, what's that ship from Star Wars? He's added in, given it a little Star Wars flair. I dig that. It's also got Star Wars weapons on board. Weapon chest. She's got some forward cannons. Let's pick the engines on. Heat them up. All right, because he's given it kind of a Star Wars-y flair, given it that, the Consular, I don't know, it's one of those ships, those kind of engines. I might use this. I dig that, I really do dig that. That is cool. It looks good, like you can't even really tell that he's just strapped those on the back and kind of cut off the old engines to it. It does give it like the Argon and the Alliance are starting to combine their technology. That's what it looks like. So let's see what we've got as weapons. So we're gonna come about, We've got, looks like another, these are turrets. I'm switching through the turret spaces. That's a turret, looks like a top turret. So we've got some turrets on this. We've got some forward firing guns. Let's go ahead and switch to classic flight mode so we actually fire these forward. Some decent firepower, and we can equip 8 of them. For whatever reason, we've only got 4. So before we go on this mission, we need to buy 4 more Tam&Back KX-10s before we fly out of here. And, oh, even better, for this mission, we can bring our X-Wing as escort for us to escort this fleet. So that's what we'll do in the next one. All right, guys, we're on escort duty in the next mission. We're gonna have our X-Wing and Bob flying it. We'll have our droid fly it. I trust Bob, he'll be fine. He can take it on. Escorting us while we escort John Furco while they build some type of new gate technology. Let's go ahead and start maneuvering, see how fast she maneuvers. I mean, for a larger ship, that's not bad. That's not bad. I still want proper hammerheads, you know? I want those. I think those would be really cool, but this will work for now. We do need to redock and find some weapon systems. Does this have trade? It doesn't have the trade system installed, so we could probably get them at.
This outpost serves as a remote operating base for military ships. Well-connected pilots
You
can
sell missiles,
purchase
which we need to get some mosquito
advanced
missiles.
technology here.
And you sell system extensions. Not really what I'm looking for. You've got mass driver ammunition and laser towers, but you don't have weapons at all. What about the equipment bay?
Argonne space equipment.
Okay, you sell weapons and you've got some in stock. Good, good, good. We've got Tam&Back KX-H's. Those are PPCs. Those are big honking laser cannons. That's not what we need though. We need the, what is it, 10s? Is that what that's what's using on this thing? I think it's using 10s right now. SFSL 7.2 laser cannon. See, I don't know what these weapons do. I'm gonna have to learn. I mean, I wonder if we can put the big cannons on here. Yeah, we've got KX-10s equipped right now. Oh, we'll figure it out in the next one. All right, guys. See ya in the next episode while we fight for the Republic, or for the Rebel Alliance. Excuse me.